Alright.
Okay, so we're back today, and today, Lay, we are going to be doing, I guess, a viewer's choice.
Hmm.
So they asked, we listened. So we're going to be talking
Which doesn't
about,
happen often.
yeah,
Like,
no,
let's just say that.
let's be real.
We don't really care. We're going to talk about what we feel like talking about. But today we decided we're going to be nice.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking about 2024 design trends.
Hmm.
We're going to be pulling from one of my first magazines that I did for this year for NHRE, 2024 design trends. We got some stuff from Architectural Digest. And then Leigh and I are just going to talk about what we like in general and things that we do around our homes.
Yeah, because that's what matters most.
And that's what matters the most. So, okay, September, you and I have both always said that it's like a new beginning.
Yep.
It's almost like the second new year.
Honestly, that's what I've always said.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
And I think it's like the start of like the school year. That's how it always felt.
Yeah.
It was like, it's not really the second half of the year because there's only 4 months left.
But like, exactly. Yeah, but it's like, it's a new start.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's kind of like January 1.
Yeah.
So I think fall is a good time to kind of like refresh not just your wardrobe, but like your home space.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I like doing the most in my house is having like my staples, right? And then using certain things to switch out and accent. So like I'll accent with throws and pillows and artwork, and try different pops of colors and things like that throughout seasons.
Yeah.
But my area rug and my couch and things like that are the staple pieces. Yeah. That's exactly it. But you can change a whole room. I mean, some people even paint frequently.
I know.
Which like painting is a big job to me. Yeah, I would rather have like neutral walls personally. Yeah. But like it's incredible how much just a paint color can change the feel of a room and the look of a room. But yeah, I mean, overall, I like to keep my house pretty neutral. I know some people think that's a little cold, but I tend to kind of stay with like white, gray, and black as my base. Yeah. And then pull in my colors and my accents. How about you?
Yeah, mine, yeah, it's pretty neutral other than the pops that I add.
Yeah.
I do have a few statement pieces. Like in my living room, I have my grandparents' old dresser, and it's like a solid wood, like massive, stupid heavy dresser that will never ever move because it's way too heavy.
For sure.
But it's so beautiful, and like the design that's on it is just so beautiful and timeless.
Right.
And those are things that I look for when I'm searching for things. I don't like.
Well, they tell a story though too.
For sure. Yeah, and it's a sentimental piece, which I like, but like it's also timeless, and that's usually what I look for.
Yep.
In pieces because I don't like trends.
No.
Like in general.
Yep.
If it's going to be trendy, it'll probably be something that's not going to be there for a long period of time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I agree. I tend to like more mid-century and Scandinavian, so I'm like very minimalistic and like clean lines when it comes to stuff. So I have a mix of old and new in my house. Like I have like a vintage record player stand and like a cane piece and a teak piece, with marble. But then it's like mixed with like a newer couch and a newer coffee table. And I kind of like new and old and high and low. Like it doesn't have to be expensive.
No, yeah. And like there's pieces that just like tell a story.
Yes, right? Because when someone comes into you kind of want like a conversation starter.
Yeah.
Right? And it doesn't have to be anything expensive, but like something that evokes conversation because it's unique in itself, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want things that, everyone has, or like, the trends that people have, or even like bedroom furniture. Like I know that like traditionally, like you could go and you can get sets from like these furniture stores. Yeah. It actually makes your house look cheaper.
It does. When you
I've never bought buy a set.
Even the living room set makes it look cheaper.
Like when we were kids, of course, my parents would buy the set, obviously. And it made more sense because it was cheaper.
Yeah. And it takes the guesswork out of it too, because it's all there for you, right?
Yeah. But it robs your home of like any character.
Totally.
I find. So yeah, I don't like sets.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm with you totally.
Even when I'm shopping for like baby stuff.
Yeah.
Like the nursery, I don't want the traditional crib with the matching dresser and change table and whatever.
Exactly.
Like it's going to be it just doesn't look curated.
Yep, I totally agree.
And any thoughts put behind it.
And I even like separate like end tables from coffee tables.
Yeah.
Like I don't even like those too much, even if they're like separate from the actual set. I like everything to kind of be
It was like
unique.
such a marketing thing. Like
totally.
Of like the 80s and 90s or like whatever. Yeah.
No, I'm definitely with you.
Yeah.
Are you somebody who decorates like seasons? Like, do you decorate for like, I don't know,
like spring, summer, fall, winter?
Right. Like I'm thinking with Thanksgiving approaching and things like that.
Not really. I will maybe, it depends. Like, depends on the mood for the fall. Yeah. Depends on how I am mentally, I think. Yeah. But I find that all of my stuff is like pretty neutral in terms of like it can cross all seasons, except for like winter. Obviously, I decorate for Christmas. I love Christmas. But like if I want like a nice like new cozy throw for like the fall, then I'll get one like something. But most of my stuff like will last the whole year and not have to, I don't buy those like, those like oh my gosh. Those like ghost blankets that everyone's like freaking out about. Yeah. What are you doing?
No, I know.
Like they're so ugly.
So ugly.
Are you 12?
Yeah, no, I know.
And there are people like, like Gen Z's, like, what are you doing?
No, I know.
I don't know. They're just so ugly and like, ugh.
What about fresh flowers? So I grew up, my mom always had fresh flowers and they were always like seasonal. So like, you knew if it was springtime or if it was fall or.
I don't often have them. Like sometimes I will. I don't think my mom ever really had many fresh flowers. She would buy like at Christmas time she'd buy like poinsettias.
Oh, totally.
She loves poinsettias.
I love my eucalyptus. Yeah, I mean I'm so basic, right? So I really just buy.
Did you put it in your shower?
I do. Yep, and then also like in my living room and stuff, and I'll dry it out.
We used to have a eucalyptus tree actually, like an indoor one. Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, I'm very minimal. Like I do appreciate flowers, but like I'm not like my mom in that sense. Like she has fresh flowers every week, and my girlfriend Danielle always has fresh flowers in her house too.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I don't know. It depends on my mood.
Yeah,
and like sometimes they remind me of funerals, like the smell of them. Yep. Like in my house, like
I'm sensitive to a lot of smells actually.
Yeah. So I remember going into my office actually last week, and they had fresh flowers.
Like into the brokerage?
Yeah, the brokerage, and they had fresh flowers. I don't know why, but like 2 or 3 bouquets. Oh yeah. Whatever at the office, and I'm like, smells like a funeral home in here.
Totally.
And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. And like it's an office, right? So it's not like you're gonna have open windows or like anything like that. I'm like, no, it stinks in here. Yeah. Like it's gross. Anyway, so I don't know. Maybe like for like occasions.
For sure.
I'm not mad at it.
Obviously. No, me either.
But I'm not like it's not. No.
I know when I was buying my own house and getting my own place and making it my own space. One of the things, like to me, I think having your place decorated and designed where it evokes you and your personality is super important. Because like I remember living at home and coming home, I'm like, this isn't my home, especially as like a young adult, because I stayed at home until I could afford my first house. Yeah. And so having a place that feels like my home when I come in is so important to me. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things about decorating is I feel like your space should embody you. It should tell your story. And I feel like even artwork, like whatever you pick, I feel like it should embody you as a person.
Yeah. There's so obviously we went through a really dark time with the millennial gray. That was terrible. Yeah. It was like millennial gray and then like shiplap. Yeah. Like, Yeah. I don't hate shiplap. I think it's if it's done properly and it's in the suit, like the right space. Yep. And it suits the space, then it's fine. But right now on TikTok, there's a lot of videos that are going viral about people decorating their homes, and they call it dopamine decorating or like something like that. And it evokes the actual person that lives there. Right. And those are things that you actually like. So like everything's intentional and it's in that space because you like it. So then when you see it, you get a hit of dopamine and you love being home. And like, it's just a totally different take on where we were when I was first decorating my house. millennial gray was it. Yeah. I bought a gray couch. Everything was fucking gray.
Well, even us and being in real estate, every house looked the same.
With the gray vinyl flooring.
Yeah.
The landlord special. White walls and
I hated it.
The gray vinyl
every
flooring.
house looked the same. And then the stagers were decorating it the same. And I was like, can all of you guys do something different?
Yeah. So I'm glad that we've turned a new leaf and everyone is, getting their color back.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. Like I have more like earthy tones in my house.
Which I love.
Now I have like natural wood and I have stained wood.
Yep.
I have some greens and I have some like camel colors and neutrals, but like nothing crazy.
Yep.
But like,
No, I'm with you. I hear you on that.
Yeah. So
do you want to, well, actually, I want to say too quickly, a lot of people know that I have the cottage and like my primary residence. And when I was decorating the cottage with my mom, we knew we wanted it to have like a different vibe than our main residence. And so I also think that it's important that when you're designing that you keep in mind like the use of the space.
Totally.
Like location, use of the space, the feel and the vibe that you want when you're there and all of that for your environment. Because like
you're like creating a feeling.
That's exactly right. Right? It's like an experience.
Yeah.
And so I knew that I wanted the cottage to be totally different than what my house is. And anyone who has been in both properties, there is a distinctive feel between two.
Yeah. But I also think that it is also a consistency. You can tell that you decorated your house and you also decorated here.
Yep.
Because it is it's like on the same, not the same tone. I don't want to say the same tone, but you can see it's almost like your brand, like same brand throughout. It's just a different setting.
Yeah, absolutely. So how about we talk about first, like some of the trends from my NHRE magazine, and then we can talk about some stuff from Architectural Digest. Okay, so one of the first things here, and we can kind of go back and forth if you want, like throughout the magazine, and we'll be referencing the magazine in the show notes too for everybody here to do a free download copy of the digital copy. So quiet luxury. And quiet luxury, they're saying, is the trend that emphasizes the use of high quality materials such as marble. So the quiet luxury design trend epitomizes an aesthetic of refined sophistication, favoring understated elegance over opulent displays characterized by muted color palettes, typically composed of soft neutrals and earthy tones, which is right up your alley. This trend emphasized the use of high quality materials such as marble, natural stone, fine textiles, and basically gives a space a sense of timeless opulence.
Yeah.
So I mean, don't think you can ever go wrong with stone.
Yeah.
Obviously.
No, of course not. I think like that probably, and anything luxury that's done right, like if it's like not new luxury, it's like old luxury, like that stands the test of time. Like you can tell that like you're investing in pieces. Yeah. And that's the smartest thing to do. I don't want to be at home since every year. You know what I mean? And like changing my furniture and like
I think that's what I like about the sideboard that my alcohol is on.
Yeah.
In my dining room, it's teak with a marble top.
Yeah.
And that is like from the 1950s.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah. So that's the same thing. I have that dresser.
Yeah.
I also have a teak dresser from my father-in-law.
Yeah.
And those are things that like I will never feel the need to get rid of because it's not a trend from a certain time period. Yeah. It's just like it's a quality piece.
Yeah, and classic.
It's classic, and you would just never have to switch that out for anything.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, but I feel like with the earthy tones and the natural stone, I also really like the natural, like just textures of things, like even like big like stone pots, or like clay pots. Like I love that. Like it reminds me of like the Mediterranean.
I agree.
But like it doesn't. But when it's styled correctly, it doesn't seem like it's out of place. Like it shouldn't be in Canada.
And I think that's why I loved growing up terracotta floors.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were warm, the color of them, the texture of them, like so European.
Yeah.
So I agree with what you're saying about stone and like clay and stuff like that.
Yeah. It just feels like homey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I did all stone in my back here too. And I did like rough textured raw stone.
Yeah. Like that's all I want.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel like connected to my roots too.
Right. I totally agree. The next thing here, I mean, if you want to talk on this one, my dining room wall falls into this, but I think this is nice for this time of year.
I love dark and moody. Dark and moody all the time though. Like I'm like, that's who I am as a person.
Yeah.
So I really relate to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a departure from the conventional reliance on light tones, symbolizing bold, embracing the warmth and coziness.
Yeah. I think people are really afraid to do dark.
I know, which is crazy. Like my powder room is all black, as you know.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think it's like a commitment.
It is, I think.
I think people, it's a commitment and a statement, which I think like people with commitment issues probably will have lighter walls and lighter furniture. And you know, my sofa is black. We spent like pretty good money on my sofa and it's black. Like I will never get sick of it.
Right.
But like I love high contrast also. But anything, I would love to have like a study that's like dark and moody and like
such a man study.
Yes.
Masculine.
Like, I love it. Like I just like, it just feels so like rich and like gives you like a different feeling. Like when you're,
like I feel like you would smell cognac and like the smell of a cigar.
Yeah. Like I want like a cigar, like just with my feet up.
Totally.
On like
leather,
a walnut desk,
old book.
Yeah,
I know. Wood.
Like that's what I want.
Love it.
Yeah, like it's so like I don't know, but I do resonate with the dark and moody just because.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I have a dark powder room on my main floor, and then I have an accent wall in my dining room that's also all black. And I don't know, like to me, it wasn't anything scary to do.
No.
But it is bold.
It is bold. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not sick of it yet. Like somebody asked me recently if like these dark colors were out. And like, I don't think black and white will ever go out.
No, I don't think so.
Like, you know, you think of like the Kardashians' house. Like,
the tile floors, the black and
and
all
the black and white photography.
Yeah.
Like I have black and white photos going up to my second floor too.
Yeah.
I just think it's, again, it's classic.
I think people are afraid. I saw this quote actually. That was like the current design trends are people appealing to other people or resale value. I hate that. Are you living in your house? Like, when are you selling tomorrow?
And that's another thing with us in real estate. And I hate to go back to it, but like the amount of times that people will say, I'm thinking of redoing my kitchen, but what should I put in it for resale value?
Yeah.
Like you choose it and enjoy it.
Yeah. I think, and I also think that it's very telling when someone makes choices like that, because I think if you're doing a white kitchen with a white marble, are you doing that because you like white?
Right.
Do you really like white that much?
Right.
Do you want to feel like you're in a sterile hospital environment?
It's so sterile.
Like, you know, like you're doing that for resale value. Are you going to be happy looking at that?
But not even that. I don't know about you, but I don't care how nice these kitchens are and bathrooms. Everybody goes in and pulls them out nowadays.
No, they do. I know. But I also think that it communicates better, like a well lived in home.
Yes.
If you do something that actually brings out your own personality. And this contradicts staging.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to neutralize the space and appeal to, you know, depersonalize everything. But I think people can tell now.
Yeah.
Because everything looks the same.
Everything looks
the same. So I don't really agree. I think you should do what you want, and it'll look like someone lived here and they were happy.
Yeah, and it tells their story,
right? I think
right?
that feeling will come out better, rather than appealing to a bunch of other people.
I agree.
You know,
totally. The one thing too here for the dark moody colors, I know most people think that that's like black, but in the magazine here, it talks about like rich deep hues, charcoal, navy, and forest green are taking center stage in living spaces.
Yeah.
So I think that's something to think about, right? When you're picking a color, it doesn't have to just be black.
Yeah. My TV stand is like a dark emerald, and it's like every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I like you.
I actually wanted dark kitchen cabinets. I just don't get a lot of natural light in my kitchen, but that was my
that's
dream.
something that you have to think about too. But navy has been on my radar like this year. Oh, I love navy.
I know. I was thinking about navy in my laundry room because when I get a new washer and dryer, I want to get a color.
Yeah.
And I really like the blue sets, like the navy sets.
Navy. And doing monochrome.
Yeah.
I love monochrome.
I thought that would look really sharp.
Yeah. That'd be really nice. I like that. Hot.
Okay, so the next thing in the magazine, silver accents. Okay, so we've seen like a lot of gold. I mean, I even did my kitchen in 2019 when gold was big. So I've got the gold faucet and the gold hardware and handles.
Yeah.
But like silver's like where it's at this year.
See, this is like, fixtures and handles and stuff like that, fine. That's fine. I don't like, whenever I think of silver accents, I think of like those mirrored nightstands.
Oh, stop. I know exactly which ones you're talking about.
I don't even want to look at this picture right now because it